Good afternoon. My name is George Covington once again, and today I'm going to compare and contrast the use of simulators versus the use of actual aircraft in flight training, and I'm going to discuss advantages and limitations of each. So let's start with the disadvantages. So number one, simulator sickness. Simulator sickness is an extreme form of motion sickness that people get when their visual cues don't match up with their poor motion cueing. This is when the movement of the simulator doesn't add up quite to the visual stimulus, and this can impact learning negatively for training pilots. Uh, Lack of user motivation. I think this one's a big one because I can see this definitely happening to me. You know, when you're playing a video game, you can have, I don't know, character run and jump over a valley and not think twice about it. Just probably do it 6 or 7 times. But if it were actually you running and jumping over a valley, I mean, you would really want to go back and measure that thing out and take a few dry runs before you actually risk your life. And the same thing kind of goes for pilots, where in a simulator, no big deal. I'll just land the plane no matter how turbulent it is, and if I crash, I crash. But then put it in the actual situation in an aircraft, they would probably make a different decision knowing that their life is actually on the line. So, yeah, basically just pilots not taking it serious as it and uh, complex system architecture. So, like everything, there can be a plethora of red tape and certifications and things of this nature when it comes to changing anything in the cockpit. You risk losing FAA certification, and um, it can just be a whole headache. And it kind of runs in with the last one, which is the high cost of associated with the most advanced flight simulators. So I was able to find that most simulators, FAA approved simulators, are in between 10 and $50 million, which I know I don't have on hand, but I get that's already enough to be prohibitive for people who are just not every place and not every train is going to be able to afford the $50 million flight simulator. But not only that, but if you also have to change the layout of it for some reason, it risks losing certification, which can cause even more problems and cost even more money trying to get it recertified. So yeah, those are the downsides to flight simulators. But on the positive side, it provides a safe environment to practice potentially dangerous procedures. Um, one that comes to mind is the auto rotation, like in a helicopter. If basically a helicopter is, if it loses all power, it can just kind of let the main rotor spin freely, and you can kind of come down like an oak leaf to the ground safely with no power and just the changing the pitch of the blades. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be part of that training evolution. I'm not going to be in an aircraft with a training pilot letting them do that. So that's something good flight trainers are good for. They also significantly reduce the training costs of aircraft pilots because you're not burning fuel. You can you know get a solid hours worth of training, and there's no delay waiting for clearance to actually take off and actually fly an aircraft. Um, it is good for the environment. You're not burning fossil fuels into the atmosphere for training, so that's an upside. I was kind of surprised that they actually included that in. They provide a research platform, so scientists and researchers are able to actually gather information about flying by using a simulator instead of actually using the actual aircraft, which can be dangerous and costly, as we stated earlier. And finally, allow for rapid and multiple repetitions of an event, such as instrument approaches and landings. So um, you can just flash forward to the part that you want to try and do that over and over and over and over again, which logically isn't realistic. If you are in an actual aircraft, you're not gonna. I mean, I guess you can, and people do, but it's a lot easier just in a controlled environment. Just get a lot of reps of doing that one thing over and over and over again that you really want to have solid down before you step in an aircraft and try and do it for real. So that's it. That's all. My resources will be down below in the description. And everyone have a great day.